on for a final series, 3-game series at Rogers Center. Ben Revere, Jamie Carroll, and Joe Mauer. And Joe Mauer batting in September, .388. He is second to Miguel Cabrera in the batting race in the American League, and we're going to keep you up to date with that all night long. Chris Parmalee, Trevor Proof, Matt Carson. Middle of the order, Chris Herman, Butera, and Florimon.
That is a lineup that Aaron Laffey will get to face tonight. There's Laffey as he gets set for his last start. He won his 4th game of the year last time out, gave up just 5 singles against the Orioles pitching into the 6th inning. More of that needed tonight for Laffey.
First pitch of the ball game to Ben Revere is upstairs. Ben Revere, .285 on the season. He's a good leadoff hitter. He's got 39 steals. The Twins have 3 base stealers with 20 or more. First time they've done that since 2001.
You know, if anybody's out there looking for a center fielder this winter, the Twins have a couple of them. Bernard Span not playing in tonight's ball game, and this young man Ben Revere, one of them's going to stay, and I think one of them's going to go.
Yeah, I think you're right. They just can't afford to have that kind of redundancy in their roster, and they need pitching. Jerry Ryan, the GM, has said, we're going to go out and get pitching. And it's hard to come by, so we're going to have to probably trade for it. Tell you one thing they have in their favor, they play in a pitcher's ballpark.
Yeah, if you want to attract some free agents, that's the ballpark to do it.
Laffey got a piece of it, slowed it down. It probably cost himself an infield hit. Danny Echeverria had a beat on that, but Laffey reached for it with his glove, tipped it, slowed it down, and that dropped Echeverria any chance to make a play.
Yeah, this is going to be right at Echeverria. Laffey reaches at it, and anytime you can go ahead and make that catch, go ahead and do it, but he comes up empty, and it's going to go as an infield hit.
So now Laffey has to deal with a good base stealer at first. We mentioned 39 steals for Ben Revere. Jamie Carroll, the number 2 batter, can really handle the bat, and he's patient. He will give Revere a pitch or two to run. Takes the first pitch strike. That's the best way to defuse a stolen base. Get ahead of the batter.
Yeah, slide step, throw a fastball, and get ahead of that batter. Base runners, though, once you get ahead a couple of strikes, they anticipate you throwing an off-speed pitch. And they'll wait for their moment, wait for that breaking ball.
There goes Revere. Ball is hit to short, and look at Echeverria. Oh, my. And he had coverage on that. He was breaking toward the bag and then had to change directions and fields the line drive and turns it into a double play.
That's what the impressive part about that whole play was, as Adaney was going towards the bag on the steal attempt. Watch him move at the top of your picture. He moves and then takes a right-hand turn right back to where he came from to make the out, and then it's instrumental after that. Easily just flips it over to first base for the double play. Wow.
2 quick outs. Joe Mauer bats with nobody on. Mauer, as we mentioned, in a battle with Miguel Cabrera for the AL batting title. And these guys have been down this path before. Cabrera has won the last 2 batting titles. And between them, they have 4 of the last 6 batting titles. And Mauer is looking for his 4th. And it's quite a race, and as you saw earlier, Mauer's hitting .388 in the month of September.
He's just got an incredible stroke and incredible approach at the plate. There are the numbers right there. Cabrera's first, Joe Mauer's second, Mike Trout right behind him, third.
Yeah, Trout's cooled off dramatically. He had led the league for most of the second half. Cabrera's picked it up. Last year, Miguel Cabrera hit .325 to win the batting title. Ball is bounced off home plate. Laffey will field it in fair territory, and Mauer is 0 for 1 to start his night. Good inning for Aaron Laffey. start at shortstop. Gets congratulations for a fine play at short, turning a line drive base hit into a double play. Great athlete and a young man just getting comfortable in the big leagues. Take a look at the Blue Jays lineup. Rajai Davis on his homestand has been red hot. He's 9 for 13, double and a home run, 2 RBIs at one point. He had 7 consecutive hits. Colby Rasmus, Brett Lawrie drops into the third spot. Lind, Escobar, and Kelly Johnson, middle third of the order. Adeiny Echeverria batting .252 in his first taste of big league baseball. Jeff Mathis, Anthony Ghost round out the lineup.
Twins acquired Esmeralyn Vasquez off of waivers last September. This is only his 6th big league start. He was called up on September the 1st. Made 5 starts, 0-2 with a very high ERA. You can see him working out of the stretch as a starter. That's his background out of the bullpen.
It's only the 2nd time he's appeared against the Blue Jays. Rajai Davis continues to swing a red hot bat. Boy, that was a hanging breaking ball. He jumped all over it. Take a look at the defense for Minnesota, and they are getting a look at some of their younger players. Chris Herman makes his first start in left field. Ben Revere's in center. Matt Carson starting for just the 8th time in right. Pedro Florimon is the shortstop, and he can really pick it. Jamie Carroll, the veteran, at second. Trevor Plouffe at third, and Chris Parmelee at first. Drew Gutierrez behind the plate.
And Minnesota has been looking for a shortstop. Florimon, the 5th player to make a start at shortstop for Minnesota, to play a game for him. So they are looking for somebody who can catch the baseball.
Colby Rasmus goes after the first pitch. It's popped up over near the Blue Jays dugout. And Butera leans in, and tagging up at first is Rajai. Butera leaned into the dugout. Ball bounced off his glove. He stayed with it and retires Rasmus. Good job by Rajai Davis to tag at first and advance to second.
Heads up, heads up. The shades of Pete Rose and Bob Boone off of one guy and then caught by another as Butera stays right with that one. What else is Rajai going to do? He's going to go over there, and just in case the player ends up in the dugout, you tag up and you move up. Butera just figured it out after he was there. Good job by Rajai.
Gets himself into scoring position for Brett Lawrie. Lawrie goes after the first pitch and hits a fly ball into center. And Revere will throw it back to the cutoff man. Davis moves to third. 2 down now.
Take a look at the scouting report while we have a chance of Esmeralyn Vasquez, brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. He's a typical Twins pitcher, not real overpowering, but he throws a lot of strikes. He's got average velocity on his fastball, about 91 miles an hour. He's got a big curveball, and the pitch he really likes and he's very good at is its nasty swing and this changeup. That's a pitch I think the Blue Jays are going to be looking for when they get 2 strikes from him. They're hitting just .214 against Vasquez's changeup this season.
2 outs. Adam Lind takes the first pitch strike. Vasquez started his career with the Arizona Diamondbacks. He started in 2003. And he was a starter early on in his career and made a career high in the minors of 29 starts in 2007. That was in Double-A. Lind faced Vasquez back on the 22nd of May 2010, and Vasquez got him to pop up. That's the only time that Vasquez has faced the Blue Jays, just 1/3 of an inning against the Jays. Base hit into right field. Davis comes in to score. Lind picks up an RBI. The Blue Jays have an early 1-0 lead. 44th Wibby for Adam Lind.
And this continues a theme for the Minnesota Twins in their starting pitching. The first and second innings have not been very kind to them this year. This is the 125th run scored against the Minnesota Twins this year in the first inning. And it's very tough to play this game when you're down 3, 4, 5-0 very early. Lind cashes him in with that 2-out base hit.
Rajai Davis got it started with the leadoff single. Made a heads-up play when he tagged on a pop-up over by the Blue Jays dugout. Yunel Escobar serving as the DH tonight. Edwin Encarnacion had to leave yesterday's game with a back problem. And he is not in the lineup tonight. So Escobar takes over as the DH, and Echeverria starts at short.
You know, think about that play by Rajay Davis tagging up. He's at third base right now with 2 outs. If he doesn't do that, he wasn't going to be able to tag up on that fly ball by Brett Lawrie. So if he doesn't tag up on the pop-up, he doesn't tag up on the long fly ball, he's at third base on that base hit by Lim. So he by himself with that heads-up base running got the Blue Jays a run.
Yeah, that's how you manufacture runs. You just run with your head up and take advantage of every opportunity you have. And he didn't assume that that was just going to be a pop-up over in the dugout. He tagged, stayed right there at first, and was able to advance. 3-0 to Escobar. Takes a strike. Vasquez is 28 years old. It's not like he's a kid. He's just filling out some starts for the Twins, getting an opportunity to make a bid for a spot in this pitching staff next year. Not necessarily as a starter, but they certainly need pitching wherever they can get it.
Yeah, they're pitching. Talk about a team that had some plans at the beginning of the year for their starting rotation and how that changed very quickly. Carl Pavano was in their starting rotation, and Francisco Liriano, Nick Blackburn, Baker, Marquis. Those are the 5 guys that they projected to be their starters in spring training.
There goes the runner, and Escobar takes ball 4. Well, Minnesota has had some problems with their pitching staff, and you mentioned some of the free agents they brought in. They just haven't panned out. You look at the problems they've had. ERA, they're 14. Hits per 9 innings, last. Hit home runs allowed, 196, and that's just because they play at a great big ballpark. Or they'd be at the bottom as well. Strikeouts per 9 innings, and with just about every category, they're bottom of the league in the pitching department. And their starting pitching ERA has really been a problem. They have only had 4 seasons with a higher ERA than what they've had this year from their starters. And Ron Gardenhire has been around here a long time, and he knows that you can't win without starting pitching. That is popped up a mile high. Butera, the catcher, and now the first baseman, Chris Parmalee, made a nice over-the-shoulder catch, and the inning is over, but the Blue Jays take a 1-0 lead. Adam Lind with the RBI. Rajay Davis manufacturing runs. TD Comfort Zone, none other than number 99, Wayne Gretzky. The TD Comfort Zone, courtesy of TD. Wayne is a big baseball fan, and obviously he's got his Blue Jays jersey on, sitting right there in the front row, and he was active before the ball game. He got the chance to catch up with some of his Canadian friends, Justin Morneau of the Twins, and then Gretzky also had the opportunity to throw out the first pitch. He is truly an icon in North America, all over the world for his great hockey skills, and right now he can boast the fact that he is a baseball dad. His son was drafted and played this summer with the Chicago Cubs. Trevor Gretzky was drafted in the 7th round by the Cubs out of Oaks Christian High School in Westlake, California. Had a good year. He played 35 games in the Arizona Rookie League and hit .304.
What position is he?
First baseman, outfielder.
Nice. Nice. Well, the old man there looked like he could throw a baseball.
Wayne played baseball. He really liked baseball. And he's always been one that stays in touch with it. His son, Oaks Christian High School, very good sports school. And he played on the football team. He was a quarterback. And certainly one thing he didn't want to do is play hockey. So he is a professional baseball player now. Aaron Laffey. It's the first batter he faced. Chris Parmley, the first baseman, catches him right on that thigh, and he'll go to first.
The old slider that didn't slide right there. Need a shutdown inning. Blue Jays got off to a good start here, scoring a run in the first inning. Let's shut somebody out right here.
Trevor Plouffe. Well, he had a stretch this summer where he was as hot as anybody in baseball. Hits this ball high and deep to center. Rasmus back looking up. Home run, Trevor Plouffe. His 24th home run, and just like that, the Twins have taken the lead. A hit batter and a 2-run home run.
Boy, it barely got out of your mouth about the home run spree he put on earlier this year. Every time you look up, Trevor Plouffe has another home run. This is number 24. And it's really a no doubt about it. Fastball, first pitch, and he climbs all over it. We'll take out our cameraman. Nice. Deep to center field. Todd, I hope you're okay out there. Looks like he got you.
Plouffe now with 24 home runs in 414 at-bats. Pretty good ratio. Matt Carson, we mentioned he's making his 8th start in right field. This is just his 24th game. Twins have always been a great organization for drafting, developing, and bringing young players to the big leagues. And when you and I played, they were always one of the best at bringing kids up from their own system, and they have to do that.
Yeah, they have to. They just cannot have that gigantic
another high fly ball. Rasmus moves underneath it in front of the warning track this time. It's the first out of the inning.
Todd, give us a wave to make sure that you're okay. Atta baby. All right, I know you got hit.
You never really know that you might need a helmet there in center.
Stay on that one.
But you know what? He stayed focused.
Yes, he did. All over it. But to finish that thought, the Twins have never been a team to have that gigantic payroll where they can go out there and just spend whatever they need to do. They have to develop within their system, and they've done a tremendous job. They were in the playoffs, it seemed like every year up until a couple of years ago, and a lot of it from the homegrown talent that they brought to the big leagues.
It's a good breaking ball in a good spot. Chris Herman is behind 0-2. It's a breaking ball that's up, and Rasmus moves to his right. 2 down.
Let's take a look at the scouting report tonight for Aaron Laffey. And if you take a look at him, the fastball, he's been throwing a lot of fastballs lately, and he's been keeping it down. He's keeping it on the on the edges. You got to watch closely. He's been having a back problem issue, and there was some doubt that he was going to make the start tonight. His changeup and cutter and slider, I think, are going to be very important pitches for him. He's been throwing more fastballs this month of September. And the last time out, again, just held the Baltimore Orioles to 5 singles pitching into the 6th inning.
Drew Butera, the catcher, back behind the plate, giving Joe Mauer the night off. Mauer's the DH. Butera hits it hard down the left side, and that is a fair ball. Up against the wall, into the corner. Here's the throw, and it's offline over Kelly Johnson. Anthony Gose made a strong throw, but it was wide of second, and Drew Butera has his 6th double of the season.
Well, right now the Minnesota Twins are squaring up a lot of pitches from Aaron Laffey, and it's because the ball is up. They had a shot, I thought, but Gose's throw, he gets on the side of it, and the ball takes off on him right down into that corner. It stays in play, and he gets onto it quickly. But the throw's a little bit offline, and Butera comes in with a double.
A 2-out double now. Butera is at second for Pedro Florimon. Florimon is the shortstop, batting ninth. Pat had mentioned how the Twins have been struggling to find a shortstop, and they believe that they might have their man in Florimon. He can really catch it. He's got great range and a strong arm.
The last time we saw the Twins, you got to go all the way back to May, is when we saw Minnesota. Dozier was playing some shortstop, and when we were there, everybody was saying that this is going to be the shortstop of the future.
Future was very short. Bouncing ball. Echeverria deep in short, strong arm, throws out Florimon. The inning is over. But Minnesota takes the lead. A 2-run home run by Trevor Plouffe, his 24th. 2-1 Twins. Back every time Toronto hits a home run, you can win big. Audio, home theater systems, and big TVs like an 80-inch Sharp Aqua Squadron. To enter, visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. 2-1 Minnesota. Esberling Vasquez has been staked to a lead on Trevor Plouffe's 24th home run. Adeiny Echeverria. Boy, he's made a couple good defensive plays already tonight. Takes the first pitch, strike. Echeverria, we mentioned he's playing in his 13th game at shortstop. He came up and started at third base initially when Brett Laurie was injured on the disabled list. Pop-up seemed to be a lot of them early in this ball game. Plouffe in fair territory makes the catch. Echeverria is out. The support pop-up the Blue Jays have hit.
Vasquez, I could see being more of a fly ball type of pitcher. Fastball looks pretty straight. He's got that overhand roundhouse curve and the changeup. I can see how batters could get the ball in the air against him. It looked like he's got that sinker. That movement that you need to get the ball on the ground.
Looks like it's going to ride a little bit. Jeff Mathis. Mathis put on a display during batting practice today. He was squaring up everything. Last 7 games have been good. 350 average. He's had a couple doubles and driven in 2.
This is your guy today, isn't it?
Yeah, this is my pick to click right here. I just think he is zeroed in and ready to have a big game.
Well, if you're going on what you saw in batting practice, I'm right there with you. He was crushing balls today.
Breaking ball. Mathis chased. It's 1-2. Jeff Mathis and his former teammate Mike Napoli, they stay in touch, and Napoli had some game last night. Hit a pair of home runs, drove in 6. He had a double to add on to that great night, and he led the Rangers over the Angels in the second game of that doubleheader. Vasquez wondering where that last pitch was. 2-2 to Mathis. Lays off that breaking ball. Terry Ryan is the general manager of the Twins, and he has returned to that position. It's a position he held for a long time, and then he stepped down. He knows they've got to improve their starting pitching. Mathis strikes out. Foul chips into the glove of the catcher. So first strikeout for Vasquez.
For years and years, they would just develop their own. And the one thing you can say about Minnesota Twin pitchers is they command their fastball. They throw lots of strikes. For years, decades, they've been able to bring guys up to the big leagues, and they throw strikes, and they built their teams around that good pitching and defense. The team that the Twins have thrown out there this year doesn't resemble the Twins teams that we've seen in the past.
Now, and they have gotten away from the great fundamentals and the good sound pitching. But Terry Ryan is determined to bring this team back. Just 2 years ago, they were in the postseason. Anthony Gose. Fly ball into center. Revere broke back. Now he recovers and makes the catch. Quick inning for Vasquez. He retires the Blue Jays in order. We've played 2. It's 2-1 Minnesota. After this ball game, and certainly the Angels in Seattle, an interesting one. Angels trying to stay alive. They have faint hopes of getting into the postseason. As we speak, the Angels are 4 games back, and it's a tough situation for them. San Francisco and the Dodgers, the same is true with the LA Dodgers. They have to beat San Francisco at least twice and hope that the Cardinals lose twice to Cincinnati. And then Texas and Oakland, that will also be on, and lots of great baseball action and some playoff implications right after this ball game tonight. And Boston and New York is on Sportsnet 1 right now, and CC Sabathia starting that game against Clay Buchholz. There's a ground ball. Good hop for Lind. He'll go to the back, and Ben Revere is retired. So, yeah, you can see the Yankees in Boston on Sportsnet 1. We mentioned Clay Buchholz starting against CC Sabathia. Sabathia against Boston just 7-9. And obviously the Yankees are tied with the Orioles. The Orioles are in St. Petersburg taking on Tampa Bay. And there are a lot of implications. Certainly neither the Orioles nor the Yankees want to play in a wild card game.
They don't want to go there. I got a feeling the Yankees are going to win tonight. Not because they're home, not because CC Sabathia is throwing. I don't recognize any of those players in the Boston Red Sox lineup.
Well, they've had some call-ups, and some of them are in there. No Dustin Pedroia, no Ellsbury. This ball is hit hard to left. Ghost looking up. It's off the top of the wall. Jamie Carroll is headed to second, and he'll get there with a stand-up double. Where the Twins are timed up right now with Aaron Laffey.
Aaron Laffey has had success against Minnesota. He was a member of the Cleveland Indians, same division. He faced him a couple times. He had success. Right now, the ball is just hanging over the middle of the plate. They're hitting it, and they're hitting it hard. Carroll takes one deep to left field. Butera had a double. This one just misses going out and will end up as a two-bagger for Jamie Carroll.
And now Joe Mauer. Mauer grounded out his first time up, hit one back to the pitcher. Laffey tagged him out. So Mauer's average now has dropped. And he drives this one to left. Ghost makes the catch. Mauer is 0 for 2. And Carroll holds his ground at second. Later on, we will check in with the Detroit Tigers. They're playing in Kansas City, and we'll keep tabs on Miguel Cabrera when he comes to the plate, so we can keep you up to date on that American League batting race.
Yeah, we'll do everything. Triple Crown race, a little bit of everything. We'll keep an eye on that one too in the next couple of days. I want to see it. I want to see a Triple Crown because it's been a long time, 45 years since the last one.
Hard to imagine it's been that long. 1967, Carl Yastrzemski did it. And the interesting thing about that, it was the second straight year there was a Triple Crown winner in the American League. Frank Robinson won in '66 with the Orioles.
I was just a kid back then, 66, 67. I'm like, this is cool. This happens every year. No, it doesn't. It's hard.
What do you think's going to happen?
Let's see. I guess he wins the Triple Crown if he ties at home runs, right?
Yes,
okay.
he does.
Because he would be leading.
He would be leading.
Texas goes to Oakland. Tough place to hit a home run there. So I think Cabrera can do it.
Here are his numbers as we speak. 325 batting average, that's first. He's tied with Josh Hamilton with 43 home runs. And he has a 136 RBIs. That's first.
Yeah, by a large margin.
Yeah.
So I think he'll win that. I think he's got another one in. They're facing Kansas City, I believe. And he usually hits Kansas City really well. It's the batting average. I think Joe Mauer is going to have a save for that.
Well, Joe Mauer's average now at 322. So Cabrera starting play tonight at 325. Off the end of the bat. Laffey knocks it down. He's not going to have a play. I don't think Laurie was going to have a play either. So there are runners at the corners, 2 outs. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Well, he has been on fire, and of course he had a couple of big hits in that game yesterday, and he's the guy. And Joe Girardi, the manager, is moving him around according to matchups, and Cano had doubles in the 6th and 7th inning yesterday and really turned the game around.
Big at bats, and he comes through with big hits. That was the difference yesterday for the Yankees. They came up with some big hits and big situations.
Boy, that home run for Cano was the 35th home run that the Yankees have hit against the Red Sox this season. That matches the franchise record for a single season. 35 home runs in 1 year against Boston. The other year, 1961.
Of course. Did they play him fewer times back then? I don't know.
Ball gets away from Mathis, and Parmalee didn't read it.
Probably about the same amount of time.
I would think they might have played a few more times.
But 61 makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Manuel Maris had the big year in 61, of course. Roger Maris hit 61 in 61.
All for the Red Sox.
Yesterday, right?
Yes.
Tracy Stallard of the Red Sox. Gave up that 61st home run. Trevor Plouffe. Plouffe had a 2-run home run to center field his first time up. That's a fair ball. Jamie Carroll comes in to score. Ball hits off the wall. Parmalee goes into third, and Plouffe is 2 for 2. He's driven in 3.
He's hit a couple of balls very hard tonight against Aaron Laffey. Won the center field for the home run, and he's all over this 3-1 pitch. Rips it between Laurie and the bag down the left field line, and the Blue Jays catch a break. This ball hits off the wall and ricochets right to Anthony Ghost. That's going to have to hold the runner up at third base. If that goes down in the corner, rattles around for a little bit, another run might have scored. But a good start to his night for Plouffe.
2 for 2 with 3 ribbies. His 24th home run, and now an RBI double. Second and third, 2 outs. Matt Carson flied out to center field his first time up. That's bounced right back to the mound. Laffey will go to first. The inning is over. The Twins leave a pair, but they score 1. They've taken a 3-1 lead, middle of the third. Sportsnet. Junior hockey's version of the Battle of Alberta takes place on Friday, October 12th, as Cody Sylvester and the Calgary Hitmen take on the Edmonton Oil Kings. Friday night hockey returns October 12th to Sportsnet. And there's a man that knows all about hockey, the great Wayne Gretzky, here at Rogers Center tonight. And he threw out the first pitch, and you can bet he, like so many people, are anxious to get the NHL back. But in the meantime, Friday night hockey right here on Sportsnet. Rajay Davis will lead things off for the Jays. They trail 3-1 as they set the bat here in the third. Davis singled and scored in the first. Rajay Davis has played an awful lot this year and done a good job. He is second in the American League in stolen bases, and here he hits one 9 miles. Is it fair? No. He jumped all over that thing. Tim McClellan, the third base umpire, camped along the left field foul line, and this ball was high and deep, but hooks foul.
If you have everything working in your swing, watch Rajai. He knows that he was a little bit quick on that one, and that one's going to go foul down the left field line. But when you have everything working, where your hands and your lower half and everything's working, even though you're not a big guy, you can hit a long way. Right now, everything that Rajai Davis sees and he swings at, he's been hitting it and hitting it hard. Timing is a big part of what hitting is, and right now his timing is outstanding.
Interesting how it comes and goes. The great hitters, of course, they can keep it all year long, but the mortal hitters, they have peaks and valleys.
Yeah, and if players knew how to just bottle that up, that feeling, and just take it with them day in and day out, they'd be well, they are multi-millionaires. But
there's a guy sitting on that Twins bench that has it pretty well bottled up.
Yep.
Joe Mauer. Bouncing ball up the middle. Florimone has it. Throws out Davis. One down.
The Blue Jays on Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware and building center location. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Season's winding down at Rogers Center. This is the final series of the season. First of 3 against Minnesota. Colby Rasmus popped up to the catcher in foul ground his first at bat. We mentioned Joe Mauer. He's currently second to Albert Pujols for active leaders in batting average. Pujols batting .324.9. Mauer batting .323.5. This is high and deep to center. Revere has room, turns around, and he makes the catch.
you know what's impressive about those numbers that you're just talking about? Pujols, all the home runs and all the RBIs, and Mauer with the production and the great numbers. Miguel Cabrera, all the home runs and RBIs. It used to be back in the day that the small guy who could run would win the batting titles.
Right.
Now it's the big power hitters, great hitters.
And the big power hitters have really been able to learn the value of hitting it all over the ballpark. I'll tell you what I think, and we'll talk about that. I think it has to do with the smaller ballparks. I think the guys are physically bigger. I mean, Cabrera and Mauer are both big men. And Mauer's 6'5". But I think the smaller ballparks allow them to use the whole field and still hit home runs. When you first came in the game, Cleveland is a great example. Municipal Stadium at Cleveland was a huge ballpark.
Yeah. And forget about trying to hit it out in April and half of May. It was too daggone cold when you're outside like that.
And certainly we're not trying to diminish any of their skills. They're phenomenal hitters. There's a base hit for Brett Lloyd, takes it right back up the middle.
But I think what you said about the big guys who are home run hitters are better hitters. Back in the day, the home run hitters were not really good hitters.
Right.
They couldn't hit the ball all over the place. They couldn't take a two-strike pitch that was down and away and flick it into right field for a base hit. They were up there to hit home runs. Now, I mean, Cabrera and Pujols are as good as they get all time, being able to hit.
Yeah, hit for average, hit for power, drive in runs. It's pretty incredible what they've been able to do. I mean, you go back and you look at the home run hitters years ago. I mean, it started in '59. Rocky Colavito and Harmon Killebrew both hit 42 home runs. That led the American League. Well, either one of those guys were what you would call great hitters. They were great power hitters.
Power hitters. Frank Howard, great power hitter. I wouldn't classify him as a great hitter.
Frank Howard led the American League in '68 with 44. Harmon Killebrew of the Twins led in '69 with 49, and then Hondo had 44. Frank Howard had 44 again in 1970. Bill Melton led the American League in '71 with 33.
I know Reggie was in there too. Reggie was a great power hitter and a tremendous run producer. I wouldn't say his career batting average was that good. I think it was like 260 or something like that, 270.
Reggie Jackson and George Scott tied for the American League lead in '75 with 36. So I think the point we're trying to make is valid, that today's hitters are pretty special. And the fact that Cabrera is threatening to win a batting triple crown is evident just how good he is.
You know what makes it, for me, even more impressive is the specialty that the pitching has become nowadays. You got your 7th inning guy, you've got your 8th inning guy, you've got your closer. I mean, you're facing a fresh arm, 4 fresh arms, possibly in one night.
And different look. Every one of them can be different. To give you an idea of the batting champ in '75, when Jackson and George Scott led the league in home runs, it was Rod Carew who hit 359. So a different era of baseball, for sure.
Yeah, now combine those two, and that's the type of player you'll have in Cabrera and Pujols.
Lind has another base hit. Laurie is headed for third. Here's the throw, and it's cut off. Adam Lind is 2 for 2. Blue Jays threatening with 2 outs. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. The Yankees are putting it on the Red Sox, and here's the home run leaderboard. Cabrera, Hamilton tied at 43, Encarnacion 42, and now Granderson is tied Adam Dunn with 41. We will check in with Cabrera in about 20 minutes when they start their game in Kansas City against the Royals. We'll keep track of his at-bats tonight. You know, Escobar, he's the DH. He walked his first time up. Way outside. Ball on the strike. Esmeralda Vasquez in danger of allowing the Blue Jays right back in this ball game. Minnesota has a 3-1 lead. They've out-hit the Jays 6-4. He'll tap her back to the mound. Vasquez goes to first. The inning is over. Blue Jays get a couple of hits, but they strand a pair. We've played 3. Minnesota has a 3-1 lead. Blackberry Tweeting Tuesday will take place tomorrow, October 2nd, the final Blackberry Tweeting Tuesday of the season. The Twins and Jays will start their game at 7:07. There are great prizes to be won. First pitch, autographed merchandise, and T-shirts. Call the Blue Jays for tickets at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com to order your tickets, or you can always stop by Rogers Plus locations. Chris Herman goes after the high fastball and hits it on the ground. Kelly Johnson throws him out, 1 down. Minnesota 66-93. Certainly a disappointing finish to their season. They wrapped up their home half of the schedule 31-50. And Ron Gardenhire was pretty adamant, hey, you know what, we've got great fans here in Minnesota. We certainly deserve to have us play better at home. And that's something they're very aware of.
Well, 31-50 is the worst record in Major League Baseball for a home average. And you can't blame the fans. The fans came out and watch that team. I believe they're in 4th or 5th in the American League in attendance. And it's just been one of those tough years for Minnesota. They haven't been able to get it right. They started off April 6-16 with an ERA of about 5.5, and they just haven't been able to recover from that.
Yeah, it's been disappointing, and certainly the Twins are all about loyalty and consistency. When you think about it, they've only had 2 managers going back to the early 80s. Tom Kelly, and then Ron Gardner took over for Tom Kelly, and that's been it. And that kind of reflects the personality of Minnesota. They're very loyal people. Gardner's from Minnesota, and they just love their ball club, and they want to be able to produce a winning team. They get good support from their fans. Shortstop Pedro Florimon flies out to right. Good inning for Aaron Laff. He took him just 6 pitches to set down the Twins. Kelly Johnson will start things off in the bottom of the 4th, followed by the shortstop, Adeiny Echeverria, and the catcher, Jeff Mathis. In the 4th inning, a lucky winner will take home a Sharp home theater system, including audio soundbar, Blu-ray player, and Aqua's LCD TV. To enter, visit hitahomerun.sharp.ca. Sharp, big is too small a word for it. Kelly Johnson falls behind 0-1. 0-2.
There's that good changeup from Vasquez. That's his swing and pitch pitch. You can swing and miss right over the top of that one. It's a good one. That one a little bit harder at 81 miles an hour.
Gets a piece of that one and stays alive. Kelly Johnson is a free agent at the end of this season. He was a free agent at the end of last year and opted to come back with the Blue Jays. I think if you talk to most people, Kelly's probably in that group. They would expect that he wouldn't be the second baseman next year. Blue Jays probably just go in a different direction.
It was the last year of the old rules this past winter for free agents, and if you offered arbitration to one of your free agents and they ended up signing somewhere else, you would get a draft pick for it. Blue Jays offered arbitration to Kelly Johnson and he accepted. A lot of times when you're offered arbitration, you're a free agent, you turn it down to try and sign somewhere else. No, says Tim McClellan. So Kelly Johnson came back and he started off the year great. He really did. And now it's, looking like this guy might be the guy who plays there next year. We'll see.
Full count to Kelly Johnson. Well, I think one thing that we have learned about Danny Echeverria is he's a terrific shortstop. That's his natural position. But he looks comfortable whether he's playing third base, and that's occupied. But second base, he looks comfortable as well.
Yeah, your natural thought would be, okay, well, he's got that job wrapped up, but the Blue Jays might have other plans.
Check swing, one hopper to third. Poof, across the diamond, and Kelly Johnson almost beat it out. Well, good job by Kelly Johnson to make that bang bang at first. He checked his swing and took a while to get going. Poof kind of assumed that it was going to be an easy play, but he's out just by a half a step. He made it a lot closer than everybody expected.
Yeah, it took a couple of extra crow hops and ball taps in the glove there, and that allowed Johnson to get down the line, and he almost beat it out.
One down. Shortstop, Echeverria. Breaking ball, strike. I think you made a good point. The Blue Jays obviously got a lot of work to do, and you have to improve upon the season they've had. And I don't think anybody in the organization is going to say, well, we had injuries. Well, everybody's had injuries. You just have to plan that you're going to miss some players and try to improve your depth. And I think that's what the goal is, trying to get deeper with major league players.
And how you get those guys, that's why being the GM this winter, Alex Anpapa, he's got a huge job, I think, this offseason. How to take that next step. And you're right, I hope people don't say, well, there were so many injuries. I don't want to hear that.
No.
And I don't want people start saying the Blue Jays record is because of the injuries. Blue Jays record is because they haven't been good enough. I mean, let's call it the way it is. They need to get better at starting pitching. They need to play the game of baseball a little bit better.
Yeah, I think that's very obvious that the pitching hasn't lived up to expectations. And, well, you tell me, well, you lost 3 starters. Well, you know what? Other teams have lost starters too. You just have to get better at what you do, and that's throwing the ball over, eliminate the walks, keep the ball in the ballpark. 2-2. High drive to center field. Revere turns in front of the warning track, makes the catch. 2 outs.
The all-new 2012 Honda CR-V. Yeah, it does that. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Fourth inning. 2 outs. The catcher, Jeff Mathis.
Now, can it be done, what we were just talking about, by the Blue Jays having a big offseason and bringing some starters here? Most certainly, yes. All you have to do is turn to the Baltimore Orioles and the Oakland Athletics, and it can be done. That's why I think this offseason is a huge offseason for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, and you really have to address it. When you look at their pitching, overall, their ERA, they ranked 12th. Starting pitching, they ranked 10th. Relief pitching, 14th. You have to improve in every area. Mathis takes one close, but it's up the plate outside, 1-2. You look at the teams in contention. Tampa Bay, they're on the outside looking in right now, they lead the American League with an ERA of 3.22. Mathis, one hop to shortstop for Ramon. In time, another quick inning for Vasquez. We've played 4 here at Rogers Center. 3-1 Minnesota. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. Will be here tomorrow and Wednesday night. Both games start at 7:07 p.m. You might get a chance to see Justin Morneau before the season is ramped up. He's had a good bounce back season. For tickets, call 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com to order your tickets. You can always stop by most Rogers Plus locations and pick up your Twins Blue Jays tickets. 2 games left on the 2012 schedule. Ben Revere, the leadoff man, had an infield single, and he's also grounded out. Brett Laurie, terrific play. He thought about using his glove and then said, you know what, that ball's spinning a little bit. He bare hands it, and that's what we mean. He's 22 years old, and now he's checking with Echeverria and asking, would you have had that?
But anytime that third baseman can come over there and make that play, cut it off in front of shortstop, it's a quicker play, it's a shorter throw. And we've seen this all season long from Brett Laurie. He has made some outstanding plays at third base this year. And I think he's just going to get better and better and better. I don't think there's any third baseman in the American League who has more range than Brett. His throws are getting a little bit more accurate. He has that flair for the exceptional play.
Echeverria bobbles it, picks it up, and throws a wild into the seats. He dropped it initially on the backhand, and he'll be charged with an error. 1 down, man at second. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Jamie Carroll is credited with an infield hit. The shortstop Echeverria is charged with the error. His second error at shortstop. So it's an infield hit and an error. Joe Mauer is 0 for 2 so far. And Jamie Campbell talked about the Tampa Bay Rays in Baltimore. Of course, Baltimore is tied with the Yankees for the top spot in the AL East. Right on the outside corner, ball on the strike to Joe Mauer. Miguel Cabrera is about ready to bat in Kansas City, and we're going to take you to Kansas City, and we'll be able to see both of these two great hitters as they battle out for the batting title in the American League. Ball and a strike, down and away.
It's like the Blue Jays are trying to stay away from Joe Mauer, and that's what makes him so special. He can take that ball away from him and slap it to left field for a hit.
There's a base hit for Joe Mauer. As you look at Cabrera batting in Kansas City, Mauer drives in Jamie Carroll. He is 1 for 3, and Cabrera is now batting in Kansas City.
And his batting average will go up now with that 1 for 3. Started the day at 323. It'll go up, and he does that same thing.
Miguel Cabrera batting against Bruce Chen of the Royals.
Ball away from him, just slap it the other way for a base hit. You see Aaron Laffey's reaction was, where's my shortstop? But he was covering over towards the bag.
It's 4-1 Minnesota. Mauer picking up his 85th RBI of the season. Cabrera made an out in Kansas City as he grounded out 6-3 to the shortstop. Joe Mauer is at 323. Boy, the Yankees are putting it on the Red Sox. 9-2, 9-0, bottom of 2.
Bottom of 2. That was Clay Buchholz starting that game also for Boston.
The Yankees were 8 for 10 with 2 walks, 1 sacrifice fly, 5 extra base hits, and 4 homers in that inning. That's a pretty good inning, Pat. I don't know, but I'm a baseball guy. That's a pretty good inning.
You figure that one out, right? It's a pretty good game. They did it in 1 inning.
Well, the Yankees, they got their bats going in the second half of the game here yesterday. Blue Jays had a 5-1 lead after 5. And then the Yankees jumped all over the Blue Jays bullpen. Laffey goes to second for 1, back to first, double play. Chris Parmelee bounces into a 1-6-3 inning-ending double play, but Minnesota has added a run. They lead 4-1 as we head to the bottom of the 5th. On Facebook today. There are 5 ways to win this year, including a grand prize draw for Canada's largest LCD TV, a 90-inch Sharp Outpost. Join Sharp Canada on Facebook today. The 9-1-2 for the Blue Jays. Edwin Encarnacion is not in the lineup, but we must congratulate him for being named the Honda Player of the Month for the month of September. He was awarded that honor by the Toronto chapter of the Baseball Writers of America. Honda is the official vehicle of the Blue Jays, and Edwin is one for consecutive months. He hit .238 with 7 home runs and drove in 20 runs in the month of September, and he had some season.
You know, it's not a knock on anybody behind him, but he didn't have Bautista around him also. And pitchers, when you watch the game, really pitched around him until they had to, and when they could pitch to him with nobody on, that's when he did a lot of his damage via the home run. But hopefully he'll get a chance here the last couple of days to swing the bat, because he's always had success against the Minnesota Twins.
He absolutely wears out the Twins.
Wears him out. And maybe he can add on to some of those great numbers that he has put up already.
Well, he's got a chance to lead the league in home runs. Hopefully his back will allow him to play before the season is over. Anthony Gose high and deep to center. Ben Revere on the warning track. Man, he can cover some ground.
Enter the Train Like the Blue Jays Brett Laurie contest today at BlueJays.com. Presented by Sport Check. Your better starts here.
Rajai Davis will step in the box with 1 out. Davis is 1 for 2. He scored the only Blue Jay run in the first. High breaking ball. Davis turns on it, but he's well out in front.
He's seeing the ball.
Yeah, he is.
Breaking ball or change up or fastball, he's on everything right now. Very relaxed at the plate. He saw that curveball from Vasquez right out of his hand.
Two balls and a strike to Rajai Davis. Fouls that off-speed pitch over the dugout into the seats. Two and two, 1 out. Good eye on that breaking ball. Rajai Davis has a club option for next year, and he's a good fit, especially if you are going to use a youngster like Anthony Gose. You can platoon the two, or you can use Gose on a just about everyday situation.
Or even if you feel that Gose has to go back to the minor leagues and repeat AAA, that there are a few parts of his game, if you feel that, that's what the organizational meetings are going on with now. And you sign a veteran complement to Rajai Davis to help out in left field. Rajai can play center. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. So he can play all 3 outfield positions. We've seen that. He's a center fielder who can go get it. He's a 4th outfielder. But then he can play in these long stretches like he is, and he's hot right now. So, yeah, he's definitely part of this team next year.
Bounced right back to the pitcher. Vasquez underhands it, 2 down. Well, foul balls have been a challenge for our cameraman. Ted over there at first base now has to duck out of the way. I don't know what it is, but come on, Teddy, you got to make a play on that.
Teddy, you got to catch that. Where's your glove? Come on, make a play.
Once again, cameramen are been targeted by some of the balls. That one was a home run center field. Two down. Colby Rasmus is 0 for 2. Just one final thought on Edwin Encarnacion and what he did in September to earn that Player of the Month award. He had 238, but he had a 376 on base percentage. He took his walks and he did a nice job of getting on base, and he had 18 walks and had a good month. This is popped up. Parmalee, the first baseman, in fair territory. Rasmus is done. The Blue Jays go quietly in the 5th. Vasquez, who's retired 7 straight. New pitch for the Blue Jays is the right-hander Chad Beck. Aaron Laffey goes 5 innings, gives up 8 hits, 4 runs, just 3 earned runs, and now Chad Beck will make his 14th appearance of the season.
He was recalled at the beginning of September from the Las Vegas team, and he is trying to open up some eyes for this ball club for next year. Can he pitch out of the bullpen? He's got a good arm. He is from that fastball up there as high as 95 or 96 miles an hour with a little bit of a slider. What he needs to do is pitch with a little bit better command.
Aaron Laffey, his start was somewhat in doubt. He's had some issues with his back, and he goes 5 innings. The Twins caught 8 hits off of Laffey, 3 earned runs. Didn't walk a batter, didn't strike out a batter, and his game score is 37. A reminder, the average American League game score is 49. Through just 62 pitches. Now Beck will start off the 6th inning. Trevor Poof's had a good night. He is homered and doubled. He's driven in 3. Aaron Laffey started out in the minor leagues and came into the organization, pitched in Seattle and New York last year, and did a good job filling in. He had a great run when he first moved into the rotation. His first 5 starts were outstanding. Had a 2.70 ERA, including a string of 13 consecutive scoreless innings against the Red Sox at Fenway.
When they were the Red Sox, first of all.
Yeah, before the trade and all that. Yeah,
they had,
a good lineup.
Yes. Yeah, I thought it was a good sign. And John Farrell had him when he was with the Cleveland Indians, and they tried to get some depth within the organization. It was a good sign. And when you're trying to get some depth within the organization, you know at some point you're going to need them during the season for 6, 7, 8 starts, something like that. Aaron ended up with 16 starts this year.
Well, Laffey had 16 starts. Villanueva, he had 16 starts. And when you look at it, obviously, you just as soon use 7, maybe 8 starters at max, but that didn't happen for very many teams.
Unless you are the Cincinnati Reds and you only need 6.
San Francisco Giants, they did a good job. Giants had a strong 5-man rotation, healthy all year long. But it takes a talented rotation and a stroke of good fortune, but also predictability. When you look at the Giants staff, they have veterans in that staff. Of course, Lincecum and Kane and Zito, Vogelsong. Madison Bumgarner, the youngster, was good last year, and he improved on his season.
Matt Kane had a great year. Lincecum started off slowly, but he's rolling.
Matt Carson rips one past Laurie into left field. So a walk and a base hit. Well, Tim Lincecum of the Giants has really gotten hot. He has pitched very well in September, and that's what they need. Let's take a look at that high pitch from Beck, and Carson's all over it.
They have some good problems to try and iron out in San Francisco. If he's pitching that well, and they've already made the playoffs, who do you start in game 1?
Yeah, they're going to look at matchups, see who they play, see who they match up against. All of the Giants have done 93 wins. They have a 9-game lead over the Dodgers, and of course they clinched the division. They did it without Brian Wilson. They lost Brian Wilson for the season, their great closer. And they did a nice job of mixing and matching.
Making good trades right at the trade deadline to help them.
Hunter Pence hit a home run in last night's game, and he's been a key addition to that outfit. They lost Melky Cabrera because of the 50-game suspension. There's a fly ball into right. Davis quickly in, makes the catch. Sounds like Chris Herman may have broken his bat. Santiago Casilla and Sergio Romo of the Giants filled in for Brian Wilson. They did a good job.
Yep. He picked up Marco Scutaro. He got it hot right at the best time. So Giants, I mean, they were just the World Series champs 2 years ago.
Isn't that something?
Don't
Nobody
forget about
really,
them.
they don't really get a lot of notoriety, but the Giants are pretty good. They are fifth in the American League in ERA at 3.68. Excuse me, National League, of course. And then you look at their offense. They hit 270 as a team, and they're anchored by Buster Posey.
MVP Buster Posey?
Yeah. Boy, he has bounced back from that nasty injury. One out. Twins have runners at first and second. Drew Butera, the catcher, has already doubled tonight. Of course, Drew's father, Sal Butera, is a scout with the Blue Jays, and he's involved in the front office and always around the ball club, looking around and checking out other big league clubs. He, like Drew, was a catcher for the Minnesota Twins. Coach with the Blue Jays and longtime scout.
He was at the ballpark at the beginning of this homestand, wasn't he? Didn't we see him here?
I think we saw him in Tampa Bay.
Yes, he's home in Tampa Bay. I figure he might have been in town for the organizational meetings and things like that. But you're right, it was Tampa where we saw him.
2-2, 1 out. Chad Beck in his first inning of work walked the leadoff man, gave up a single to Matt Carson. Hopper, playable over in front of the Twins dugout. Glenn gets there and makes the catch. 2 down. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Busy night in baseball. That's even more dicey than just celebrating at home. Atlanta is 3 games behind the Washington Nationals. Atlanta currently tied 1-1 in Pittsburgh. But there is a possibility that Atlanta and Washington could tie for the NL East.
Yeah, and if they do, they would have to play.
Broken back. Kelly Johnson flips to second. The inning is over. Chad Beck gets out of the inning. Blue Jays will bat in the bottom of the 6th. Brett Lawrie is singled already. Adam Lind is 2 for 2 with an RBI, and Yunel Escobar when we come back. On the bottom of the 6th for the Blue Jays, and he has a hit already tonight, but we thought we'd show you where Brett stacks up with Blue Jays. And young power, home runs before the age of 23. Lloyd Mosby and John Oler both had 27 before they turned 23. Travis Knight at 25. Junior Felix, Brett Lawrie, and Jesse Barfield. Pretty good company for Brett Lawrie. Both have 20 home runs before their 23rd birthday. So Brett has this game and 2 more.
You know, we talked about him in the opening today. We talked about some of the things that he has learned at the big league level and his level of intensity and things like that. If you really put it in context, he could be a senior in college if he didn't sign. And for him to be in the big leagues at the age of 22, playing his first full season, I think it says a lot about the type of talent that he possesses. And he's going to be there. Every player goes through the learning process of playing the big league season. John Farrell certainly knows that.
2-1. I think John Farrell has done a very good job with Brett Lawrie, trying to reach out to Brett and let him know that he is going to be the center of attention on this team. He's a Canadian playing for the only Canadian major league team. And he's a very talented young man. So he's going to have the spotlight on him all the time. And he's had it on him his whole life. I mean, he was by far the best player on the field whenever he played as a kid, into amateur baseball, into international baseball, the Olympics, of course. He's been a star wherever he's played. And now he's playing with the best in the world.
Grown men.
Yeah. And it takes you a while to learn how to play. And, you know, Brett's been criticized for base running problems and his error total and everything else. But this is his 4th professional season. Not 4th big league season, 4th professional season. And he takes a walk. That's how the 6th starts out for the Blue Jays. He's been on base twice tonight. I think when you really think about Brett Lawrie, maybe even as soon as next year, I mean, he profiles as a number 3 hitter. He's got speed. He's got power. He's going to develop more power. And I think he's going to be a 300 hitter.
His manager projects him as a number 3 hitter. He's got all the attributes that you want for that number 3 hitter.
Base hit for Lynn. His 3rd hit of the night. Lawrie stops at 2nd. Adam Lynn's 3 for 3.
That should get that bullpen moving around for the Minnesota Twins. Adam Lynn not wasting any time tonight. The first fastball that he has seen, he has ripped it a couple of times. This one into right field for his third hit. He is swinging the bat like we've seen him back in that big year back in 2009. He's going up there and just ripping.
Escobar. Is the DH tonight. He's walked and grounded back to the pitcher. Punts it right back to Vasquez, who looks at third, goes to first. And Escobar pushes the two base runners to second and third, one out. I didn't know that he was sacrificing. I think he was bunting for a base hit a little bit more. Just didn't get it away from the pitcher quite far enough.
Yeah, you're down by 3 runs. It's the 6th inning. It's not a bad idea if you feel confident enough that you can get that ball down to the third baseman and get another base runner. At worst, you come away with a couple of runners in scoring position and just 1 out. You can see how the third baseman, Trevor Plouffe, was playing very deep at third.
Yeah, I think that's what Escobar had on his mind. He saw the third baseman deep at third and thought if he got it close to the line, he'd have a chance for a hit. Kelly Johnson now with a chance to drive in a pair. Johnson has popped up and grounded out. Buter does a great job on those balls in the dirt. I mean, he's the epitome of a backup catcher. Throws well, calls a game very well, and works very quickly. You see how quickly he gives the pitcher the sign. 2-0 to Johnson. And just caught the outside corner. Alex Burnett, right-hander, starting to loosen up for Minnesota. Three and one. Danny Echeverria, the shortstop, is on deck. Blue Jays trail 4-1. The bases are loaded. Hey, fans, keep watching. With the bases loaded, we're a grand slam away from awarding an 80-inch Sharp Quadron Aquos LCD TV. To enter, visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. Sharp, big is too small a word for it. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Rios has had a terrific season. He's batting .305, driven in 91. But the White Sox, as Jamie mentioned, need some help.
They need a miracle is what they need.
Yeah, they need a miracle. Hector Santiago, starting for the White Sox, has gone 5 innings, allowed 1 hit to Cleveland, and struck out 6. Maybe a little bit too little, too late.
Yeah, they're up by 3 with 3 to play. Detroit owns that division. All they have to do is win 1 more game, or Chicago loses 1 more game.
But Danny Echeverria hit one to the warning track in deep center field his last time up. There's Merling Vasquez. Held the Blue Jays to 5 hits. Ground ball to third. They're going to come home. There's the force out at home. Throw back to first, not in time. So Plouffe went to Butera for the force out at home.
Takes a little bit longer that way. The play might have been around the diamond and let the second baseman. It's a longer throw from third to home and then back to first.
Yeah, I thought for sure they'd go around the horn. That ball was hit right to the third baseman.
Yeah, you're taught if it's at you or to your left, you have to go around the horn, go to second base, and then back to first. If it's hit softly like that, that's when you go home.
Mathis with a drive past the third baseman. Lind is in to score. Johnson right behind him. And they're going to stop Echeverria at third. Jeff Mathis delivers a 2-run, 2-out double. His 13th double of the season. It's a 1-run game.
Yeah, it's the guy you said was going to come up with a big base hit tonight. And he didn't waste any time getting the first pitch from Vasquez and just ripping it down the left field line. Minnesota can't turn the double play. It keeps the inning alive, and Jeff Mathis will cash him in with that 2-run double to left field.
Yeah, I think they had a shot to go around the horn and goes with that 5-6-3 double play, maybe get out of the inning. But Mathis keeps the inning alive and makes it a 1-run game. Ron Gardenhire, the Twins skipper. Vasquez gave him a pretty good start. He'll leave with 2 runners on. They're his responsibility. It's 4-3 Minnesota. Alex Burnett into the game. That would do it all, Jamie. Then the Nationals would be the champs of the NL East. Anthony Gose with runners at second and third. Anthony has flied out twice. Alex Burnett, 66th appearance of the season. He's been a workhorse for Minnesota.
Yeah, good numbers, 4 and 4, 354 earned run average. He'll sink his fastball. He's got a little bit of a curveball, slider. He can throw multiple innings for Ron Gardenhire out of the bullpen.
Burnett worked in 66 games a year ago, total of 50 2/3. Two balls and a strike. The number 9 hitter, Anthony Gose. Jeff Mathis with a 2-run double has made it a 4-3 ball game. Well, Anthony has really improved his plate discipline since joining the Blue Jays. I think he's recognized as a young hitter. You don't have to hit every pitch that comes your way.
Yeah, they're not going to throw every pitch in the strike zone. You're right. So his at bats have been much better. Wait for that 1 out over the plate.
Full count. You got to believe you're going to get a breaking ball with a right-handed hitter on deck. Got a base open. Rajai Davis, the leadoff man. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. Got a fastball. Caught looking. Called third strike with a couple in scoring position. Anthony Gose strikes out. Burnett does his job. He comes in a tough situation, gets a big strikeout to leave a couple. But the Blue Jays have made it a 4-3 game. play out the way he had anticipated. He actually started out in the minor leagues in Double-A, and now he's pitching out of the bullpen.
Yeah, he also started as a starting pitcher. He was moved to the bullpen when he came back up here in September. And John Farrell was telling us today that he really thinks Brett Cecil can do the job as a lefty out of the bullpen. Look at what left-handers are hitting against him, just 208 this year. And this is a good spot for him here. You got a couple of lefties coming up this inning. You're in the later stages of the ball game. You got to come in here and shut them down for an inning, maybe get yourself a W.
Brett's now 26 years old. He actually worked out of the bullpen when he was first spotted by the Blue Jays. He was pitching at University of Maryland. He was working as their closer. He would make the occasional start, but his #1 role was to close out the games. So he understands the mindset of working out of the bullpen. I think that's what he would like to do first and foremost, but I think now he understands if there's an opportunity, and certainly the future of Darren Oliver is pretty much in doubt as far as his return to the Blue Jays. And maybe Brett Cecil can fill that void.
Blue Jays would love that, I think. To have a young left-hander fill that type of void, and you can pitch forever in the big leagues. Just ask Darren Oliver. You make a lot of money and a very good living pitching as a lefty out of the bullpen, as long as you throw strikes and you pick up your occasional strikeout.
Ben Revere starts things off with a single to left.
The all-new 2012 Honda CR-V. Yeah, it does that. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Revere at first. Another throw by Brett Cecil. Check on him. Revere has 39 steals in 46 attempts. He is third in the American League in steals, behind Mike Trout and Rajay Davis.
Not a real big lead over there at first base for Revere. So it wouldn't shock me if he doesn't go. Or they maybe they play hit and run.
Miguel Cabrera, he will be coming to the plate shortly in Kansas City, and as we're going to do all night, we're going to track his at-bats as he and Joe Mauer are locked in a battle to win the American League batting title. Joe Mauer is on deck here at Rogers Center. Miguel Cabrera is on deck at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. Cabrera has already gone 0 for 1 tonight as he grounded out. Joe Mauer is 1 for 3 at an RBI single his last at bat. McCarroll shows bunt, takes the ball, 2-1.
Time to maybe put something on for the Minnesota Twins. You see Jamie Carroll looking down at third base, a long time to get that sign. 2-1 count is a great count to run on.
Carroll fouls it off. Jamie Carroll can really handle the bat. They can do anything they want with Jamie Carroll. With all of the postseason slots still up in the air, I talked to Jamie Carroll today. In 2007, he played in a one-game playoff. San Diego and Colorado were tied, and Jamie Carroll got the game-winning hit. It was a sacrifice fly to right field, and everybody remembers Matt Holliday sliding in face first at home, and then Colorado would go. There's the throw to second, not nearly in time, and Ben Revere has his 40th steal of the season. We have Miguel Cabrera at bat from Kansas City now. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out his first time up. And that's a base hit into right field. So Cabrera is 1 for 2. Mauer is 1 for 3. So Cabrera will maintain his lead for the moment.
That's exactly what I mean about a right-handed power hitter being able to hit that ball away like that and go the other way. When a pitcher makes a good pitch, he's able to hit that ball the other way. That's why he is leading the league.
Nobody out. Full count to Jamie Carroll. Joe Mauer is on deck. Base hit for Jamie Carroll. Revere's being waved home. Here's the throw from Rajay Davis. It's not in time. Jamie Carroll picks up an RBI base hit. He's 3 for 4. And the Twins have gotten back a run. It's 5-3 Minnesota.
Well, Ben Revere can run. The first chance to really watch him, and he steals the base, gets himself into scoring position. You talk about Jamie Carroll being able to handle the bat. Well, he handles it and hits it to right field. This is right at Rajay Davis, and he comes up throwing, and there's no chance to get it. He got a good break at second base, and he scores easily the 5th run.
Jamie Carroll, 2 singles and a double. Joe Mauer at the plate. Jamie Carroll, if that wasn't a great at bat to demonstrate why Jamie Carroll's still playing in the big leagues. Okay, all he was trying to do was move the runner from second to third. And he gets a base hit and drives in a run.
Yeah,
just a great approach.
He knows how to play this game. And he could go out there and do it.
Ball and a strike on Joe Mauer. We saw Miguel Cabrera get a base hit in Kansas City. That was his 200th hit of the season. Derek Jeter going into action tonight. 213 hits. He's the major league leader in hits. Joe Mauer with 1 hit in 3 at-bats, and this is up to date. Cabrera with his single, he is 1 for 2, and he has expanded his lead to 3 points. One and 2. Mauer strikes out. There's that good breaking ball from Cecil. Strikes out Joe Mauer. 1 out, man at first. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. He's got an update. Matt Wieters has had some year. He has done a terrific job at the plate and behind the plate.
He hit that one in the right spot, just like Evan Longoria's ball down the left field line, where it's only maybe 5 feet high.
Yeah, they've got that fence cut out just inside the foul line.
Any other ballpark, and that ball is a double. Now in Tampa, it's a home run, and the Orioles' magic continues.
Five-3 Minnesota. Jamie Carroll with an RBI single to right. Here's Parmley, the first baseman. That Wieters hit, the home run, was just the second hit off Alex Cobb. He's gone 7 innings, 2 hits. Walked a pair, struck out 7. He's had a good start. Wei-Yin Chen pitching for the Orioles. He's gone 6 innings and allowed just 3 hits. Ground ball. Echeverria at short. Kelly Johnson back to first. Not in time. Kelly Johnson couldn't get a lot on that throw. Looked like he was a little bit late getting to second. And they weren't able to turn two.
Yeah, it looked like it had a chance to be two. Watch Johnson as he's behind the bag and the runner runs right into him. If he throws it on a fly to Adam Lynn, he gets him. But he bounces it to first base, and it keeps the inning alive for the Twins.
So Brett Cecil will turn the ball over to the bullpen. Brad Lincoln on. Second appearance overall, his numbers combined between the Pirates and the Blue Jays. He's had a good season at 5-2. I think we have seen Brad Lincoln dominate hitters at times, and we have seen Brad Lincoln get into trouble when he tries to throw a little bit too hard.
Yeah, and the ball straightens out, and he can't place it where he needs to. He also made 5 starts for the Pittsburgh Pirates. But I think the Blue Jays project him as one of their big arms out of their bullpen for next year. He's got a good arm. Fastball mid-90s.
There's that wicked breaking ball. That is a great pitch for Lincoln. Trevor Plouffe had a big night, 2 for 2. He's also walked. He's homered and doubled. He's driven in 3. Two outs. A good fastball. We have seen Lincoln really dominate the strike zone with that fastball to both sides of the plate, and then he can get that hard breaking ball in there. His breaking ball is a hard curveball, and it's tough to pick up. You don't see a lot of spin with it, and it's been a very good pitch for him.
When he is controlling it and throwing it where he needs to, when he doesn't overthrow it, it's a weapon. It might be the best curveball in the bullpen for the Blue Jays, and it's hard for a pitcher to throw a curveball. I think you either have it or you don't have it. You can't spin one. Tough to teach someone how to throw a good hard spinning breaking ball.
There's a guy right next door to us that had a pretty good hard breaking ball.
Yeah.
Bert Blyleven, who does the color for the Twins television broadcast.
And he would show pitchers how he threw it, and there are other pitchers who just couldn't throw it. I think it's something that you either have it or you don't have it.
Now Blyleven, he had a wicked curveball. He's now in his 17th season as a color commentator, and he's in the Hall of Fame. He was elected to the Hall of Fame in 2011, inducted July last year. Long overdue in my mind, and he doesn't get the credit he deserved, but He ranks 5th all-time in strikeouts, 10th in games started, 9th in shutouts. He had 60 shutouts.
60 shutouts. That's right.
3 and 2 outs. Finally off at first, the ball is fouled back. Yeah, and Blyleven had that curveball. I swear you could hear it spinning coming to the plate. He threw it so hard, and he had got long fingers, and he could really wrap his fingers all the way around that baseball.
For a right-handed hitter, it was coming right at you, and then just swoosh across the plate. But you show it the same way he holds it, the way he throws it to another pitcher, and they might not be able to do it.
Booth strikes out. Lincoln comes out of the bullpen to end the inning. But Minnesota adds an insurance run. They've taken a 2-run lead at 5-3. Top of the order for the Jays. Bottom of the 7th. It'll be Rajai Davis, Colby Erasmus, and Brett Laurie. Tomorrow night, and we thank you for allowing us to share the games with you. It'll be the Blue Jays and the Twins on Sportsnet. Tomorrow it all starts at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the pregame show with Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn. That's 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Game 2 of this season-ending series, and we do want to thank you fans. It's been a great season for us, and we appreciate you sharing the Blue Jay games all season long with Pat and I. Rajai Davis goes after that breaking ball. He's in a hole 0-2.
When he is thinking the other way now with 2 strikes, that's where he's been pretty good this year. His 2-strike approach is the best I've seen since he's been in the big leagues. Taking the ball the other way.
Burnett wasn't aware that Davis had stepped out of the batter's box. He was locked in and ready to deliver the next pitch. Bottom of the 7th. Davis takes one down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Esmerling Vasquez went 5 1/3. They have up 6 hits. He's responsible for all 3 runs. Alex Burnett struck out Anthony Ghost to end the 6th. And he stays alive. That's a great baseball all around in both leagues, and certainly we still don't have the definitive wild card teams, the division leaders, although it's getting close. Detroit has a 3-game lead over the White Sox. 3 games left. Baltimore, New York were tied at the beginning of play, but as Jamie Campbell pointed out to you, the Yankees jumped all over the the Boston Red Sox in New York tonight. They currently have a 9-1 lead, top of the 6th inning. Another foul ball in that game. The Elias Sports Stats Company confirmed that Clay Buchholz is the only starter in Red Sox history to allow 8 earned runs in fewer than 2 innings pitched against the Yankees. And that rivalry is old.
Forever, right? 8 earned runs in less than 2 innings.
Yeah, that's not a very good outing. And I thought they'd be primed. They had Buchholz in game 1 and Lester in game 2. But Buchholz, an inning and 2/3, 6 hits, 8 earned runs. Only 3 through 56 pitches. 2-2 to Rajay Davis, trying to get something going for the Jays in the 7th. And he strikes out. 1 out. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Longoria scored on a sacrifice fly off the bat of Ben Francisco, former Blue Jay, who's been a nice pickup for Tampa Bay. So Tampa Bay trying to stay alive in that wild card race. Colby Rasmus 0 for 3 so far. Popped up twice and flied out to center.
Speaking of the wild card you were just talking about, I'm sitting here looking at Texas and Oakland. Now they're playing each other the last 3 games of the season in Oakland. If Oakland sweeps Texas, they will win the American League West, and Texas would be a wild card team. Possibly.
Oh yeah, I mean that's still a distinct possibility. And you look at the pitching matchups, and Oakland, very interesting that they have been able to hang in there. Texas Rangers split a doubleheader yesterday. Jared Parker, and there's a strike 3 call to Rasmus.
Yeah, they would still have 93 wins, which the other guys just couldn't get to. If you assume Baltimore or New York is going to be the other one, Los Angeles and Tampa with 3 games to play, they couldn't catch Texas. But if Oakland sweeps Texas, they would then get the off day and wouldn't have to play in that wild card game, and Texas would become the wild card team. How about that?
How about Brett Laurie? Laurie has his second hit of the night. He's 2 for 3, and we're going to check in again with Jamie Campbell. That's all that the Tigers would need is a win, and they would secure their spot atop the AL Central Division. Alex Burnett strikes out 3 of the 4 batters he faced, and he is going to give way. Tyler Robertson out of the bullpen. Brett Laurie been on base 3 times tonight. He's got a couple of hits. He's 2 for 3. Just a reminder that the Red Sox and Yankees game is on Sportsnet 1 right now, and the Yankees are pummeling the Red Sox 9-1, bottom of the 6th. So Laurie has a pair of hits. He's also walked, and now the left-hander Tyler Robertson in to face Adam Lind.
Robertson is 24 years old. He came over in the draft. Here's a third-round pick by Minnesota back in 2006. Take a look at what he has done against the left-handed batters this year. Just 180, and that's why he is in this game to face Adam Lind. Situational lefty.
Lefties are just 5 for 34 against Robertson, and Lind is 3 for 3. So Ron Gardenhire wants to give Adam Lind a different look.
Well, all he has to do is look down that Adam Lind is 3 for 3 tonight. 3 singles, an RBI, and a run. Robertson's got that funky motion. Lots of sliders you're going to get from him. Fastball slider. So he's going to go with the percentages and bring in the lefty.
Well, Lind is really good when he stays on that outer half and drives the ball to the opposite field, and that's the best approach you can have facing a lefty. Ball and a strike. Laurie at first. Another strike. It's like a breaking ball.
Yeah, you're going to get a lot of them. So set your mind on it and just try and find a gap somewhere.
Lind has had one other 4-hit game. He is trying to get his second here tonight. Takes one in the dirt. He had a 4-hit game against Cleveland right here at Rogers Center on the 14th of July. He went 4 for 5 with a double in that game, and you can see lefties have been a problem for him this year. But that hasn't been the case throughout his career. He's been able to handle lefties a little bit more effectively than he has this year. 2-2, 2 outs. Pretty good breaking ball, but it's outside. So Laurie at first will have the first baseman play behind him, and with that and the full count, he will be off on the pitch. There are 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th inning, Twins up by 2. There's a drive to left field. Hit deep, looking up off the wall. Laurie is around third. And they missed the cutoff man. They had a shot at Laurie as he slides in. And it's a 1-run game. Adam Lind is 4 for 4.
Couple of things on that play. It's the 7th inning. The tying run is at the plate. I thought the outfield would be playing a little bit deeper so there's no doubles over your head. You've seen it, no double defense. Lind puts a charge into the ball the other way, but the outfield playing straight up. And that's why this ball stays in the ballpark. When you're playing no doubles defense, any ball that stays in the ballpark, you got to be able to make a catch-off. They don't, and it's going to cost them a run. You can see where the outfielder's playing. It just gets over his head right at the base of the wall. And with Laurie running on a 3-2 pitch, they overthrow the cutoff man. They're able to get within 1 run.
Adam Lind's second 4-hit game of the season. Mike McCoy will take over as a pinch runner. Pitching change when we come back. makes it a one-run game with an opposite field double. Mike McCoy comes off the bench to pinch run for Lind. He's at second base. Lind, a 4-for-4 night. He's driven in 2. His second 4-hit night of the season.
Casey Fiend now into the ball game for the Minnesota Twins. He is the third pitcher this inning as they try to hold on for this lead. 2-1, 210 earned run average. Lots of sliders from Fiend. He's got very good command. He's only walked 9 batters all year.
First pitch, strike to Escobar. You know, Escobar is officially 0-for-1. He's walked and had a sacrifice bunt. Tying run at second, 2 outs. All this started with 2 outs. Brett Laurie had a 2-out single to right after Alex Burnett struck out Davis and Rasmus to start the inning. And then Lind, an opposite field double at the base of the wall in left, drives home Laurie all the way from first. Everything from Fiend is away.
Yeah, it just cuts away from the right-handers. 31 strikeouts, just 9 base on balls this year.
Good fastball up and away. He strikes out Escobar to end the inning. Blue Jays leave the tying run at second, but it's a 1-run game. We'll go to the 8th. Minnesota 5-4. Now, if you purchase your Blue Jays tickets for the upcoming season by December 7th, 2012, you will receive a $100 Blue Jays gift card, a Blue Jays Authentic Collection Premier Jacket, and a limited edition Jose Bautista bobblehead. Call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234 for tickets. Or you can always log on to BlueJays.com to order your season tickets for the 2013 Blue Jays season. Yan Gomes takes over defensively at first base. Lynn was lifted in favor of the pinch runner. Now McCoy is out. Gomes is in. Matt Carson singled to left field into 6th. His only hit of the night. Good ball. 1-2. Lincoln came into the ball game with 2 outs in the 7th inning and struck out Trevor Proof, the Indian. Foul tip into the glove of Jeff Mathis. 1 down.
The all-new 2012 Honda CR-V. Yeah, it does that. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Chris Herman. Herman is in left field tonight.
He's got a little Joe Mauer swing in him, doesn't he? Control from the left side. Now, forget about the average right there, 071. But from the left side, he's got a nice level swing.
Not unusual that you would see some of those younger players in the system copy the best hitter they have in their big league club.
Well, he's a catcher, so that doesn't surprise you.
Yeah, he came into this ball game with 1 hit and 11 at bats. He's now 1 for 14, and Joe Mauer has 1 hit in 4 at bats. He's lost ground in the batting race to Miguel Cabrera.
Got a chance to get one more at bat here tonight if they get another couple of players on.
And if Cabrera comes to the plate in Kansas City before the end of this game, we'll bring that to you. Herman takes a walk, comes with 1 out in the 8th. So we mentioned that Miguel Cabrera is 1 for 2. He picked up his 200th base hit of the season his last time up. He's now batting .326. Mauer has slipped to .323. One out. Drew Butera fouled the ball right off the top of his foot. That ball ate him up inside, and he just took a defensive swing.
Check swing. Good fastball. He actually misses his spot. You see the check swing right off the front foot. He can catch. He calls a great game, and I'm watching him in between innings throw down to second base. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he can really throw. Big swing and a miss. Gutierrez in a hole, 0-2. 1 out. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Blue Jays took a 1-0 lead in their half of the first. Minnesota on a 2-run home run by Trevor Plouffe took a 2-1 lead, and they have never trailed. Outside. Interesting that the Twins are the last series this season, and it's been very strange. They opened up the season here 2011. This is the first trip back. Strike 3 call, and the snap throw is nowhere nearly in time. That's 3 strikeouts for Brad Lincoln since coming into the ball game. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. 2 outs. Pedro Florimon, the shortstop. Lincoln gets ahead with a good fastball.
Talking about the Twins not being here for a while. It's one of the longest in the history of baseball where a team returns back for a matchup back in another ballpark. Over 500 days.
That's really hard to believe, but it is 547 days between games in this ballpark for Minnesota. Colorado had a similar stint in Houston. They had 547 days between games in Houston. Tell you what, there are going to be some real scheduling quirks next year.
Oh man,
The league's going to go to 15 teams apiece. The Houston Astros will go from the National League to the American League. And there are going to be a number of 2-game series, particularly during interleague play. And there are also going to be some wraparound series that end on Monday and not Sunday.
And a lot more 4-game series if you take a look at next year's schedule.
1-2, 2 outs. Cut on and missed. Going on strikes out. Brad Lincoln has 4 strikeouts since entering the ball game, but the Blue Jays still trail by 1 as they're set to bat, bottom of the 8th. Well, Miguel Cabrera may have just locked up that Triple Crown with that opposite field home run. And certainly timely hit. That's exactly what we had talked about earlier. Hitting for an average, hitting for power, and power to the opposite field, as Cabrera is 2 for 3 tonight. And he has taken sole possession of the American League home run race. 44 home runs. Josh Hamilton will play later on tonight in Oakland.
Well, with that hit, he might have sewn up the Central Division as that ball's hit it, sewn up the Triple Crown and sewn up the MVP with one hit.
Yeah, one swing of the bat and he answered an awful lot of questions. Jared Burton is the new pitcher for Minnesota. Casey Fiend got out of the 7th. Burton pitched in the ball game yesterday against the Detroit Tigers and gave up a 2-run home run to Prince Fielder. The difference in the ball game. Minnesota lost that game 2-1. As Prince Fielder hit a home run off Burton.
And he's taking over that 8th inning. Throws hard. Got him from the Reds. Blue Jays playing for 1 run.
Echeverria put down a perfect sacrifice bunt.
A couple of defensive changes for the Minnesota Twins. Carson goes from right field to left field. Bernard Span enters the ball game in center field, and that pushes Ben Revere over to right field. So some good outfield defensive play now for the Twins. Some speed in the outfield and some good arms.
Ben Revere has made 77 starts in right field, so he's very comfortable out there. He also has 6 outfield assists from right. He's got a good arm. He's got 8 assists overall. Bernard Span in center. Jeff Mathis had a 2-run double his last time up. Butera out to talk to Burton with a runner at second. That's the tying run. Bottom of the 8th inning. 5-4 Minnesota leads. For Burton, 34 of his last 38 have been scoreless. He's been very tough. And that goes all the way back to the 12th of June.
Yeah, he and Perkins, the closer, they've had to kind of put that together as this season went along. And they've done well. They just haven't had the opportunity to do it. They just haven't been in these types of situations to win. Another strikeout from Burton.
Their bullpen has gotten some big strikeouts. Burnett struck out Ghost to end the 6th. Fiend struck out Escobar to end the 7th. And now Burton gets Mathis for the 2nd out here in the 8th. Some big strikeouts coming out of their bullpen. And take a look at the Triple Crown race, and Miguel Cabrera is first across the board. Batting average up to .327. He has a 1 home run lead over Josh Hamilton now with 44, and RBI race is over and done. He's going to win that.
How about that one swing? What it could have won for Key and the team.
Yeah, the Tigers, of course, they win this, and they're the champs in the AL Central, and they will open up at home on Saturday to start the division series. I mean, that really answers a lot of questions and certainly puts them in a very strong position. And you got to like the Tigers with that starting pitching.
If Scherzer's healthy.
There goes Johnson, and whoa, Butera flew high. Trevor Plouffe did a good job of elevating and catching that ball. Butera's got a strong arm, but that one almost got away from him.
Oh boy, that could have been nice for the Blue Jays. Again, the infield just giving him third base. And Drew Butera comes out firing. He almost fires it down into the corner in left field. Plouffe goes up high to bring it back. Watch how closely this came from going down the left field line and tying up this ball game.
0-2, 2 outs. Inside. Ghost was caught looking at strike 3 his last time up. He struck out with a couple aboard. That was against Alex Burnett. Blocked by Butera, and he just saved a run.
The value of a good catcher right there. You have no idea where this ball is going. It's so far out in front of home plate, so you try and get some kind of piece of your body on it and stay square to that ball so it bounces back out towards the pitcher.
Kelly Johnson just 90 feet away from tying the game. Well, when you throw a ball in the dirt like that and your catcher blocks it, gives you all confidence in the world to throw it hard. Don't have any worries about blocking it or catcher's going to block it and keep it in front.
Yeah, you go for the strikeout and let him do his job, that catcher.
Foul ball. That's ball 4. Ghost will go to first. We mentioned that Miguel Cabrera now leads in the Triple Crown categories. He has 201 hits, 40 doubles, 44 home runs, and 137 RBIs. Numbers have been reached 3 times in history. Those numbers. Only 3 times a hitter has put together a season like that. Twice by Lou Gehrig and once by Babe Ruth.
Wow.
Pretty impressive company. Miguel Cabrera may have just wrapped up the MVP.
Yep. I think it's a done deal now.
2 outs. Rajay Davis shows bunt, takes a strike.
Concentrate right here. If you're Rajay Davis, you got to figure that Anthony Ghost is going to try and steal second base.
There he goes. He slipped. He broke and then slipped a bit at first, and I don't know if he was just trying to get the second baseman to cover, but watch his foot. Looked like that bat foot slip. He might have just taken a fake break. 0-2 on Rajay Davis.
That's why you have to really bear down as a hitter here if that guy decides to go. You got to concentrate on that baseball. You can't think about that guy taking off.
There goes Ghost. The ball is popped down the right side and going to reach the seats. Up then to Brian Dunsing starting to get loose with the Twins. Jared Burton is the 4th reliever to work tonight for Minnesota. Anthony goes with a 2-out walk. Kelly Johnson with a leadoff single. There's Ghost going, and Davis strikes out. Boy, for a 3rd consecutive innings, the Twins relievers strike out a Blue Jay batter to end it. Now it's time for a Blue Jay Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. pitcher for the Blue Jays is the closer, Casey Janssen. Obviously not a closing situation, but Janssen trying to put a cap on a great season. He has been terrific since moving into that closer's role.
Yeah, worked 2 days ago, picked up that 21st save on the season. You say, well, why you bring him in here at home? Well, it's a one-run game. Maybe you bring your closer in right here, you shut them down as they hit at the top of the order and try and win them and get a win for Janssen in the bottom of the ninth. Can't save a game at home. 8 extra innings.
Well, especially where you are in the Twins order, top of the order, Revere, Carroll, and Mauer. They have 6 of the Twins' 11 hits. I think Casey Janssen has earned the right to be the closer coming out of spring training next year.
Yes. I think if all the problems that they had in the bullpen, if one thing was solved, is they found a closer. A guy who's very good at it, who wants to do it. He's a young player at 30. And if he picks up the first strikeout, he's a homegrown guy. Everybody's saying, well, they traded for Sergio Santos. Too many question marks for Sergio going into next year. You go into spring training with the arm problems, there's no guarantees there. I think you name him the closer, and then if Sergio is healthy and he comes back, that's all a bonus.
And Casey Janssen is one of the leaders of the ball club. And he is a guy that'll step up, voice his opinion, talk to somebody when they take a misstep. I mean, this is his team. He's one of those guys that grew up in this organization, and he wants to win here. And he's certainly in a prominent role right now. And the one thing about Casey Janssen is he always takes the right approach when he comes into a game. So he's pitching for his next outing.
He's got the great mentality, I think, to be a closer. Tough, hard-nosed. Gives up a couple hits. It affects him, but he forgets about it and he gets ready for his next opportunity. And he's got 3 pitches he can throw over at any time.
Well, 2 outs now for a preview of what's coming up on Connected. Here's Ivanka Osbeck and George Paulus. That coming up right after this ball game. 2 outs, Joe Mauer. He trails Miguel Cabrera by 4 points in the batting race.
The strikeouts by the bullpen the last couple of innings.
7 of the last 8 outs have been strikeouts. Not this one. Mauer is going to tap back to the pitcher. Good inning for Casey Janssen. He retires the Twins in order. For the Blue Jays in the battle tonight, they trail by a run. It'll be Colby Rasmus, Brett Lawrie, he's got a couple hits tonight, and Yan Gomes. You can see all the baseball action right here on Sportsnet. It begins October 5th. That's the Division Series, and we'll have every playoff game right through the World Series right here on Sportsnet. Jamie Carroll moves from second base to third base. He takes over for Trevor Plouffe. Alexei Casilla comes into the ball game to play second base. And the new pitcher is the closer, Glenn Perkins, a left-hander on, trying to protect this Twins' one-run lead.
He's done that the last 12 times he has come to the mound. 12 straight save, third longest streak in the American League.
Moises Sierra pinch hitting for Colby Erasmus. There are the numbers for Perkins. This is his 70th appearance.
Very good numbers. 16 for 19 in saves.
Sierra drives it down the right side, and that's into the seats. Colby Erasmus finished up the night 0 for 4. Strike 3 call. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Glenn Perkins has found a new home, much like Casey Janssen.
Yeah, he was a converted starter. He started for the Minnesota Twins, and tough to get through that third time through the order. Very good at the beginning, and when you move to the bullpen, you got a little extra on that fastball. That time high enough and right on the corner for the first out.
Brett Lawrie's been on base 3 times tonight. He singled in the 3rd, walked in the 6th, and singled and scored in the 7th. Two and 0. Yan Gomes is on deck. Gomes entered the game as a defensive replacement at first base. Adam Lynn collected his 4th hit in the 7th and was lifted in favor of a pinch runner.
Sounded like he might have got his bat on that one.
So he's got some new lumber. Trying to get on base. It is 1-2 to Laurie. He stays alive. Good breaking ball down and in, and Perkins strikes out Laurie. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Glenn Perkins.
Yeah, that's a tight breaking ball right there. Right after the fastball, he gets on top of that slider and pulls it right into the dirt. And Brett can't hold up on it. Matt Capps was the closer for the Minnesota Twins earlier this year. He had some problems physically. Perkins has taken over, and he's done a nice job.
Capps had that rotator cuff strain. He was on a DL from the 17th of July to the 23rd of September. Missed the entire second half of the season. Yan Gomes, his first at bat tonight. High and deep drive, left field. Yan Gomes has just got it. Yan Gomes, with his 4th home run of the season, has tied it at 5-5.
He eliminated the leg kick, and that'll help the bat get out there a little bit quicker, and that's exactly what he does. He drops a man on that baseball. No chance for that one to come back. Put a charge into it for the home run, and we are all tied.
8th home run allowed by Glenn Perkins this season. There's a first pitch strike to Escobar. How about the cleanup spot in the batting order tonight?
Hot.
Lynn and Gomes. 5 hits. Yan Gomes, his 4th homer of the season, ties it up. Well, you made a great point about Casey Janssen. Why do you bring him in? That's why you bring him in.
Yeah. hold it right there and you try and win it, you get them a win. Now if they can punch across another one.
Perkins strikes out the side, but Yan Gomes, in his only at bat of the night, hits a 2-out game-tying home run, and we'll go to extra innings. It's 5-5. One swing of the bat, and the Blue Jays tie it up. Yan Gomes. Put a capper on a dream season as they are going to the postseason for the first time since the 30s in Washington. Davey Johnson deserves congratulations for putting that team together and leading it to the postseason. So they will be the champions of the NL East. Rajai Davis moves from right to left. Anthony Gose moves from left to center, and the pinch hitter Moises Sierra, who hit for Colby Rasmus, takes over in right. New pitcher is Brandon Lyon. Chris Parmelee, the first baseman, takes the first pitch strike from Lyon. This ball is headed toward the gap in left field, and nobody's going to get it. Anthony Gose plays it off the hop. That split the two outfielders. It looked like there was a little bit of miscommunication, but I don't know that either one of them had a shot to catch it.
Yeah, if somebody right away says they're going to go for it and then they take a little bit better route, but you're right, it went right in between Davis and Gose, and Rajai looked at Anthony. Anthony looked at Rajai. Just a little bit of a hesitation. Watch him right there. And the ball falls in. Gose going hard. He looks at Davis right at the last minute, and the ball falls in. Not sure if he could have caught that ball.
Yeah, he took one peek at Rajai Davis and then kind of hesitated a bit. Alexi Casilla in defensively squares the bunt and bunts it foul. Casilla took over at second base, and he's batting in Trevor Plouffe's spot.
Yeah, do it again too. You got to figure he's going to try and sacrifice him over to third base. Yan Gomes, the first baseman, certainly thinks he is. He is charging hard from first.
Casilla swinging away, and that ball hit him. So Casilla will take first. Parmelee will go back to second. And it's first and second, nobody out. Not exactly the start that Brandon Lyon had envisioned. And now John Farrell is going to jog to the mound, and this looks to be more defensive strategy than anything else, as Brandon Lyon is in the ball game. So the Twins are threatening here, first and second, nobody out. Matt Carson has gone 1 for 4 tonight, but you would anticipate they're going to bunt here.
Yeah, bunt here and get it out anywhere. I don't care if they attempt to bunt here, just get it out. Let them bunt, because then you can walk Bernard Span, who is on deck and a very good hitter with first base open, and take your chances with Drew Butera or the pinch hitter. So I think that's what the reinforcement was. Hey, look, he's probably going to bunt, throw him a good fastball right down the middle, let him bunt into an out, and we'll take our chances.
Matt Carson squares to bunt and bunts it right out in front of home. Mathis got a shot at third. They'll get the lead runner. Jeff Mathis quickly out from behind home plate. Runs down Parmalee at third for the force out. So the Twins, who have always been exceptional at the fundamentals, right here they can't execute the sacrifice bunt.
Got to make that third baseman field that one, and they will get the out. Jeff Mathis on that one quickly for the first out.
So Casilla moves to second. Carson is at first. Bernard Span will bat for the first time. Span, a .283 hitter for the season. He's the regular center fielder. One out. Casilla was inching off second and got the attention of Brandon Lyon. Five game, top of the 10th. Another breaking ball in the dirt. Blue Jays tied it with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Yan Gomes with a home run, his only at bat tonight. Two and out.
Span has a very good eye at the plate. Not a lot of movement in his swing, and he really tracks the ball a long way. He's got a very good on-base percentage at .342. Brandon Lyon's going to have to make a good pitch for him to offer at it.
Curveball, he fouls it off. Brandon Lyon, bullpen has done a terrific job tonight. Lincoln and Jansen combined to strike out 6 over 2 1/3.
Lincoln gets 4 outs, all of them. Oh, yeah, the strikeout. Casey looks sharp in the top of the 9th inning.
Jansen had 2 strikeouts and a comebacker to the mound. 2-1. Casilla getting too big of a lead for Brandon Lyon.
One thing that the Blue Jays have going for them, the outfield is very shallow on Bernard Span. You can see it right there. Ghost in center, Rajay in left, and Sierra in right field. Doesn't have a whole lot of power, does Bernard Span. So if there's a base hit right to one of the outfielders, they have a shot to get him at the plate.
Three and one. Drew Butera is on deck. Josh Willingham has a sore arm. He crashed up against the wall trying to make a catch, and I doubt if he's available. Morneau, on the other hand, is available. He's just been scuffling of late. Doesn't look like he's got a bat or ready to hit.
Yeah, you're thinking if Span gets on, if they want to pinch hit.
Lyon showing his experience through a 3-1 breaking ball.
And got plenty of the plate, too. Span's not going to offer at that 3-1. Gets the plate, and it's high enough.
Well, isn't that a great example of experience? That was a 3-1 get me over breaking ball. He didn't try to make a perfect pitch with it, just wanted to throw a strike with it. Full count, 1 out. Casilla at second, Carson at first. There they go. Ball 4. Bases are loaded, 1 out. We're in the 10th. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Rodney's had a phenomenal season, but unfortunately Tampa Bay looks like they're going to end up on the outside looking in.
Just short, possibly.
It's their 89th win.
They need some help. That's the problem.
Butera pops it up. Kelly Johnson makes the catch. It's a big out. Infield fly rule was in effect, and Kelly Johnson backpedaling to make the catch. Now the shortstop, Pedro Florimon, he's gone 0 for 4. Well, how about Lyon not giving in to Denard Span?
Yeah, he knows who was on deck, and he knows what type of hitter Span is.
Breaking ball, strike. Bases loaded, 2 outs in a 5-5 game. Miguel Cabrera is batting again in Kansas City. He is 2 for 4 tonight. No, he's 2 for 3 tonight with a home run to take the lead in the home run race. He leads in batting average, home runs, and RBIs, the Triple Crown. Lyon, 3-2, strike 3 call. Brandon Lyon leaves the bases loaded. We'll go to the bottom of the 10th. We will go to Detroit to check in on Cabrera. They're getting into the spirit of this extra inning game. It's 5-5. Blue Jays are down to their last out. Yan Gomes hit a 2-out home run to tie it 5-5. Brian Dunsing, the left-hander, making his 55th appearance of the season. On in relief of Glenn Perkins. Perkins, a closer, struck out the side in the ninth, but gave up a 2-run home run to Yan Gomes.
Dunsing has also made 11 starts for the Minnesota Twins. So he'll come on here, and look who he's going to face for the first batter tonight.
Omar Vizquel batting for Kelly Johnson. Vizquel takes a first pitch strike. Oh, and 2. Danny Echeverria has gone 0 for 3 with a sacrifice bunt. Vizquel hits to the shortstop. Florimon goes it out, 1 down. But Danny Echeverria had the sacrifice bunt in his last at bat. And moved Kelly Johnson to second. Johnson had singled to lead it off.
Dunsing doesn't throw very hard. He needs to hit his spots and use that curveball.
Base hit, right field. Echeverria is aboard with 1 out. Well, Tampa Bay beat the Orioles while the Yankees pummeled the Red Sox. So the Yankees have a 1-game lead in the AL East. And you were right on the money with CC Sabathia going up against the Red Sox. John Lester will go to the mound for Boston in Game 2 of that series. And the Yankees in that series will probably send Devon Nova to the mound.
David Phelps, I heard today, is going to
Nova.
They scratch Nova, and David Phelps is going to get that. And if they can win tomorrow and Baltimore lose, they would be the East champs.
And the Yankees, we saw them firsthand right here. They're concerned about the possibility of playing in a 1-game wild card game. Echeverria at first. Aaron Sevilla batting for Mathis. Big cut and fouls it into the catcher's glove. Jeff Mathis went 1 for 4 tonight. He doubled and drove in 2 runs in the 6th. JP Aaron Sevilla pinch hitting.
That was your guy.
My guy. He did all right.
He did really well. Big double back in the 6th inning.
Sevilla fouls it back. You'll be able to see the Boston Red Sox New York Yankees game tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be on Sportsnet 1. That's 4 p.m. Pacific Time. As we mentioned, John Lester will go to the mound for the Red Sox. He'll be opposed by David Phelps, the young right-hander. And don't forget, starting on the 5th of October, playoff baseball on Sportsnet. Have all the playoff games and any potential tiebreaker games that need to be played. They'll be right here on Sportsnet. But the division series begin on Saturday, October 5th. CB in a hole 0-2.
Ooh, he had a good pitch to hit right there. His at-bats have been much better in the last week to 10 days. staying back just a little bit better. He talks about his timing a lot, that my timing seems to be coming back.
It's only natural to get a few at-bats under your belt after missing so much time, and the timing would come around. These days alive. Aaron Sebia got his timing back in a pinch hit appearance against Jim Johnson back in Baltimore in game 1 of that doubleheader on Monday. Johnson, of course, is a saves leader in the American League, 50 saves, and Aaron Sebia got a single up the middle, and that got him off on the right foot.
Boy, what a series he had then against the Orioles, and he kept it going here at Rogers Center against the Yanks.
Off the glove of Butera. Echeverria will go to second, and now the winning run is in scoring position. It's a wild pitch charged to Dunsing. Echeverria moves up.
They really cut that fastball inside and took off towards home plate.
.307 average with runners in scoring position for the Blue Jays catcher. Aaron Sebia batting for Jeff Mathis, who started behind the plate. 1-2, 1 out. Struck him out. Butera checks on Echeverria and hits Aaron Sebia. Echeverria is going to be stopped at third, and now he's going to come home, and the Blue Jays are going to win it. The umpire Marvin Davis at second.
Oh no, he's saying that JP, he was in the line. I don't know about that.
I don't know about that either. He was inside the box.
Yeah, that was just
Hudson.
That was a bad throw. You have to be inside the box. And John Farrell saying, I'm looking straight down the first base line, and he's standing right in the box.
Marvin Hudson ruled that Aaron Sebia was outside that running lane down the first base line, 45 feet up the baseline. And Farrell has been ejected from the game. And it was a bad throw. And Aaron Sebia appeared to be in the running lane, but the ball hit him in the helmet. And Echeverria will go back to second base.
Well, it's a curveball in the dirt, first of all, and he swings at it. Now, with first base unoccupied, you just have to run down and stay inside that box area.
Take a look at it from this angle.
This one will really be definitive.
And he's running inside, and
yep.
Marvin Hudson was right. He never had a foot on the foul line or inside that box, and by the definition, he made the right call. Anthony Gose. So the winning run is still at second base. John Farrell has been ejected from the game. Ball on a strike to Anthony Gose.
Let's give Marvin Hudson some credit now.
Yeah, that was a good call.
Yeah, we were first to jump on there. We didn't see the replay. From what we saw here, it looked like it was going to be okay. But he was all over that right away. And he called that interference on the runner. And that would have won the game.
It looked as though Aaron Sebia had run right up the baseline.
Yep.
We saw the replay, and he never got inside that running path. Butera made the throw, and quite honestly, Butera should have really stepped a little further inside and really cleared the path. But Marvin Hudson, the home plate umpire, made the right call. 1-2, 2 outs. Gose bounces it up the middle. This should win it. Here comes Echeverria, and there's no throw. Anthony Gose wins it. A walk-off base hit.
Well, at first you don't succeed, try again, and that's exactly what the Blue Jays do. They thought they had it won when the ball went down the right field line the first time, and then with 2 strikes, they try a breaking ball to Anthony Gose, and we've been telling you he's been having better at-bats, and he bounces it right back through the middle for the game winner.
How about the Las Vegas connection? Yan Gomes with 2 outs in the 9th inning hits a home run to tie it. And then with 2 outs in the bottom of the 10th, Anthony Gose wins it. A base hit up the middle. His 11th RBI of the season.
Stay right on that baseball. There was no give to that front shoulder. And once it got into the outfield, no chance to throw out Echeverria at the plate. Too much speed, and the Blue Jays win it.
Blue Jays win the first game of the final series of the season. 6-5 in extra innings. We'll see you tomorrow night.